You keep starting over. New plans, new routines, new motivation. And somehow, you always end up right back where you began. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because something deeper collapses every time pressure shows up. And if you don't understand this, nothing you try will ever last. Think about it. You've had moments where you felt clear, focused, certain that this time would be different. You woke up earlier. You felt motivated. You believed in the version of yourself you were becoming. And then slowly, quietly, that version disappeared. No dramatic failure, no explosion. You just stopped. And what's terrifying is how normal that feels to you now. Most people think they fail because they lose motivation. That's comforting because motivation feels external, but the truth is more uncomfortable. You don't fail when motivation fades. You fail when your identity can't survive consistency. And this is where most people get stuck forever. There's a book that explains this better than most people realize. Not in a motivational way, in a structural way. The core idea is simple, but brutal. Your habits don't fail because of willpower. They fail because they're built on an identity you don't actually believe in. You are trying to act like someone you haven't accepted yourself as yet. And under pressure, the mind always retreats to what feels familiar. This is why you can start strong but struggle to maintain momentum, because every habit you try to build is asking a silent question. Is this who I am now? And deep down, your answer is still, not really. So when things get uncomfortable, when progress feels slow, this is why you can start strong but struggle to maintain momentum, because every habit you try to build is asking a silent question. Is this who I am now? And deep down, your answer is still, not really. So when things get uncomfortable, when progress feels slow, when no one is watching, your mind pulls you back to the version of you that feels safe. The old routines, the old excuses, the old limits. Not because they feel good, but because they feel known. This is the part nobody talks about. The collapse doesn't happen when you fail. It happens when you succeed slightly, because small progress forces a question you've been avoiding. If I can do this, why haven't I been? And that question threatens your entire self-image. So instead of continuing, you retreat, you scroll, you delay, you reset again. Starting over feels safer than becoming someone new. Here's the trap. Every time you restart, you reinforce an identity. I'm someone who tries, not I'm someone who follows through. Trying feels noble. Following through feels exposed, because consistency removes excuses. And once excuses disappear, responsibility becomes unavoidable. This is why most advice doesn't work for you. More discipline won't fix this. More motivation won't fix this. Even better habits won't fix this. Because you're not fighting behavior. You're fighting the loss of a familiar identity. And the mind will always protect identity before progress. The shift isn't do more. The shift is quieter and harder. It's deciding who you are before you feel ready, acting consistently while still feeling like an imposter, letting the identity catch up after the behavior. Most people refuse this phase. That's why they stay stuck. But here's the part that makes this even more uncomfortable. Even when people understand this, they still don't change, because there's a hidden reward in staying inconsistent, a payoff most people never admit. And until you see that payoff clearly, you'll keep repeating this cycle. In the next video, I'm going to explain why motivation fading isn't the real problem and why part of you benefits from staying stuck. Once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it.